my God, this is insane! This is absolutely incredible! Look at how it holds the road! Unbelievable!
Welcome to the advanced cockpit of this Ferrari. The Manettino dial controls the driving dynamic. This digital cluster displays all vital engine data. Use these central buttons to engage gears. Everything is driver optimized.
True power is not merely felt. It is an absolute, unstoppable force. Witness pure engineering mastery. This is the definition of power. Witness the absolute pinnacle. 6 cylinders and electric power, delivering pure adrenaline. This is Ferrari performance, redefined for the future.
Look at this masterpiece. Every curve is sculpted for performance. Notice the iconic butterfly doors. This is where art meets pure speed.
Motor Accessusa. Ferrari built a hypercar and refused to give it a V12. That single decision tells you everything about how far this car is willing to go against its own history. This is the F80. Not a successor. Not another name added to the list after the F40, F50, Enzo, and LaFerrari. It's Ferrari deciding the future doesn't look like the past, even when the past is legendary. Every one of those earlier flagships defined a chapter. The F40 proved lightweight engineering could be brutal and beautiful at once. The F50 brought Formula One thinking to the road. The Enzo pushed carbon fiber construction further than anyone expected. The LaFerrari introduced hybrid power to Ferrari's ultimate road car. Each one raised the ceiling. The F80 doesn't raise it. It replaces it. Look at the body and the difference is immediate. This isn't a shape drawn first and made efficient later. Ferrari engineered the airflow before they touched the styling. Every vent, every surface, every gap in the bodywork exists because air needed somewhere to go. Nothing here is decoration. It just happens to look like nothing else on the road. Even the way light moves across the panels feels calculated, like every reflection was accounted for before the first line was ever drawn. But the real story isn't what you see. It's what's underneath. Instead of a V12, Ferrari dropped in a compact 3.0-liter twin-turbo V6, an engine built from the same program as their championship-winning endurance race cars. Paired with 3 electric motors, the combination produces 1,200 horsepower, making the F80 the most powerful production Ferrari ever built. Electric torque doesn't wait. Press the throttle and there's no delay, no gathering of momentum, just immediate force. 0 to 100 km per hour disappears in 2.15 seconds. 200 km per hour arrives in 5.75. Top speed sits around 350 km per hour, and the car pulls the entire way there without losing conviction. Even Ferrari's own engineers have described the sensation as closer to a race car finding a straightaway than a road car reaching for one. Numbers like that are easy to write down. They're harder to actually control. That's where the F80 separates itself. Hidden through the body are active aerodynamic elements that reshape themselves in real time, generating over 1,000 kilograms of downforce at speed, pressing the car into the road with the weight of another small vehicle beside it. When the corner demands grip, the car finds it. When the straight demands efficiency, drag falls away. The driver never has to think about which mode they're in. The car has already decided, milliseconds before the question would have even crossed the driver's mind. Ferrari went further with something they call boost optimization, a system that studies the circuit ahead, reads the acceleration zones, and decides exactly when to release electric power for the fastest possible lap. It's not reacting. It's predicting. Technology built for motorsport, sitting in a car you can register for the road. Most drivers will never notice it working. They'll just notice that every lap feels a little sharper than it should, without ever knowing exactly why. None of this works without a chassis built to match it. The suspension reads the road instantly, adjusting each wheel independently to keep the tires planted whether the surface is smooth racing asphalt or something far rougher. The steering stays precise under all of it, and the car never fights the person behind the wheel. It works with them, which is a harder thing to engineer than raw speed. Ferrari spent years tuning that relationship, because a car this fast is worthless if the driver doesn't trust it. Stopping matters just as much. The carbon ceramic brakes hold their bite lap after lap, run after run. With no fade creeping in as heat builds. With 1,200 horsepower on tap, that consistency isn't a luxury. It's the only way the rest of the car makes sense. A hypercar that accelerates like this and can't stop with equal authority isn't a hypercar, it's a liability. Inside, the F80 abandons any pretense of being a luxury cruiser. The cockpit sits low, tight, built around the driver the way a fighter jet is built around a pilot. Controls live on the steering wheel itself, so nothing requires taking a hand away mid-corner. The digital display in front of the driver shows only what's needed, nothing more. Alcantara and exposed carbon fiber cover the cabin, chosen as much for weight as for feel. Ferrari didn't build a room to sit in. They built a place to drive from. There's no wasted switch, no unnecessary trim, every surface earns its place the same way every vent on the outside does. Only 799 will ever exist. Once the run ends, that's the entire population of F80s in the world, no more will follow. Demand outpaced supply before the first one was delivered, and even collectors with the means didn't all secure an allocation. Pricing starts around 3.6 million euros before a single option is added, and Ferrari's tailor-made program means many owners will spend well beyond that chasing a specification no other F80 will share: unique paint, custom interior work, materials built to order. For some buyers, that exclusivity matters just as much as the performance itself, if not more. What actually makes the F80 significant isn't the horsepower figure, or the price tag, or the production count. It's the argument the car is making. Ferrari didn't add electric motors to save fuel or soften the experience. They added them to make the car faster, sharper, more precise than a V12 alone could deliver here. That's a different philosophy from most of the industry, where electrification usually means quieter, calmer, more detached. The F80 uses the same technology to become more intense, not less, proof that going electric and going emotional were never actually opposites. Every gear change, every burst of throttle, every moment the aero shifts beneath you, it all still feels unmistakably Ferrari. The engineers clearly understood that people don't remember spec sheets. They remember what a car made them feel in the half-second after they committed to a corner. That feeling is what Ferrari protected above everything else while building this car, even as nearly everything underneath it changed. The F80 isn't trying to preserve what Ferrari used to be. It's showing where performance goes next: racing-derived hybrid systems, aerodynamics that think for themselves, and a design language built from function rather than nostalgia, all working as one machine. Years from now, this may be the point people trace back to when they talk about the moment hybrid power stopped being a compromise and started being the advantage, the moment Ferrari proved the future could still feel this alive. This isn't the end of Ferrari's story. It's the beginning of its next chapter. Subscribe Motoraxisusa, where horsepower meets history. Motoraxisusa. Stay close.